Welcome to the channel. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, it's great to have you. Today, I'm going to share a powerful story, one that might change the way you see life forever. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring story. If you're ready, let's dive into this journey of discovering life's true meaning. A story that will change the way you see life forever. That day, the autumn air was gentle, and sunlight streamed through the classroom windows, casting golden streaks on the old wooden floor. The rustling of leaves outside formed a soft, rhythmic melody that blended into the quiet atmosphere. Professor Richard walked into the classroom carrying a stack of papers. He didn't say a word at first, just stood there, his gaze slowly sweeping across the faces of his students. A mysterious smile formed on his lips. "Good morning, everyone," he finally said, his deep voice filling the room. "Today, we are going to have a special test." A wave of murmurs spread across the room. A test? But no one had been informed about it. Anxiety flickered in their eyes, but they quickly sat up straight, preparing themselves for whatever challenge lay ahead. One by one, the professor handed out the test papers. But when the students flipped them over, they saw something strange. There were no questions. Just a small black dot in the center of an otherwise blank sheet. A heavy silence filled the room. Students exchanged puzzled glances. Some furrowed their brows, trying to decipher the meaning behind this odd test. "I want you to write about what you see on this paper," Professor Richard said calmly. Pens scratched against paper as students tried to make sense of the peculiar assignment. Some analyzed the black dot as a metaphor for imperfection. Others speculated that it symbolized chaos in an otherwise orderly world. 15 minutes later, the professor collected the papers and began reading the responses aloud. Despite their varying perspectives, every single student had focused solely on the black dot. The lesson that changed everything. Professor Richard nodded, his expression thoughtful. He took a moment before speaking again, allowing the suspense to build. "Do you see what just happened?" he asked, his voice steady yet filled with meaning. On a large, white sheet of paper, there was so much space, yet all of you focused only on the small black dot. This is exactly how we tend to see life. A hushed stillness settled over the classroom. In life, there are so many blessings surrounding us: our health, the love of our family and friends, the beauty of nature, and countless opportunities. But instead of appreciating all that, we fixate on the small problems, the setbacks, the disappointments, the things that go wrong. Just like on this paper, we let one tiny flaw overshadow all the good that exists. The professor walked over to the window, gazing at the blue sky outside. Then, he shared another story. "Just a few days ago, I met a homeless man. He was smiling, despite wearing tattered clothes and carrying only a small bag. I asked him, 'You seem so happy, even though life must be difficult for you. Why?' He looked at me and said, 'Why should I be sad? I still have breath in my lungs. I can still see the sunlight in the morning. I may not have many things, but I have what truly matters. A heart that loves, and a spirit that's free.'" The classroom remained silent. Some students lowered their heads, lost in thought. Professor Richard continued, And what about you? You have a home to return to, a family that loves you, friends who stand by your side. But often, you let small inconveniences, a bad grade, a harsh comment, a moment of failure, cloud your entire perspective on life. Why let a tiny black dot ruin the beauty of the entire page? A student raised his hand and asked, "Professor, how do we stop focusing on the black dot and learn to appreciate the white space in our lives?" The professor smiled. Practice gratitude. Every morning when you wake up, think of 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. Write them down. He paused for a moment, then added, "For example, this morning, I was grateful for a warm cup of coffee. I was grateful for a job that I love. And I was grateful for the opportunity to stand here and share this lesson with you." He glanced around the room. "And you? What are you grateful for today?" A young woman hesitated before softly saying, "Today, I'm grateful that I was able to come to class." A young man spoke up. "I'm grateful that my mother called me this morning to check on me." More voices began to chime in, slowly at first, but with growing sincerity. Professor Richard nodded approvingly. He knew that this lesson would stay with them for a long time. "Remember," he said, "life will always have its black dots, but it also has vast, beautiful white spaces. You have the power to choose where to focus, and that choice determines your happiness." A new energy filled the room, one of deep reflection, quiet realization, and a spark of newfound appreciation. A simple lesson, yet one powerful enough to change a life. Key takeaways from this story. Focus on the positive aspects of life instead of dwelling on small problems. Practicing gratitude can significantly improve your happiness. The challenges in life should not overshadow the many blessings we have. Choose to appreciate life and spread positivity. What do you think about this lesson? Share your thoughts below.